Thank you for that warm welcome. I appreciate it so much. Doesn't matter how many times I do this, it feels like my heart's about to burst out of my chest and feel like I need to run upstairs and have another pee. I honestly am proper nervous. To start off with things, I've got two pieces of paper that I'm going to read to you. And the first one is something that was written about myself when I was born. And these words were part of a document that went everywhere with me. And it goes as follows. Jono Lancaster was born on the 31st of the 10th, 1984. Both parents were horrified by the child's appearance. Both parents felt no maternal bond. Both parents left the hospital 36 hours later, leaving the child behind. That was my start, and that document went everywhere with me. All those words about my face. The second piece that I'm going to read is, I love a selfie, and I love sharing my selfies all over social media. Just like every single one of you. I'm sure you've used Facebook, I'm sure you've checked into your Instagram and your Twitter today. Yep. And as I flew in to LA this week, these are some of the comments that I found underneath some of my pictures. He should have plastic surgery. His face scares me. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Kill it before it reproduces. From day one to today, people are talking about my face, talking about my appearance, judging me, mocking me, just because of the way I look. We live in a world that's obsessed with image, obsessed with looks, and I think that is tough for every single one of us. And then for our younger generations growing up in this, that's a tough place. I grew up thinking I was just a regular kid, but then I started seeing the kids pulling their eyes down. I started seeing the stares, and I'm thinking, why me? Why did I have to look like this? Why do we have to live in a world full of hate, full of bullies, full of body shaming, full of negativity? Why? I started to hide away. And as I hid away, I started to hate the world that we lived in. I started to hate my face. I was sad, I was unhappy, I was on my own because of my face. And as I was on my own, I used to often look in the mirror and push my face up, push my eyes up to try and make it look like yours. I thought that was the answer. I pushed people away and I didn't talk. And those feelings carried on with me, stayed with me up until I was in my 20s. I was 20 years old and I was hiding away. And as I was hiding away, I had friends that were going out on dates. They were getting their first jobs. They were having their first kisses. I had friends starting families, having the time of their lives. And there's moments when I get together with my friends and they start sharing all these stories. And I'm not in a single one of them. Because I was at home asking, why me? Why did I have to look like this? But the world is full of amazing, special, super human beings that at any moment can change your life. I had a friend called Ben. Ben used to bully me at school, but as we got older, he realised I was a cool guy. I'm a cool guy. And he realised that. And he was like, dude, I was hiding away. And he's like, dude, what's going on? Why are you hiding away? And I'm throwing all these excuses. You don't know what it's like to be me, mate. And he was like, dude, I don't care. I've got you a job. You're 20 years old, you need a job. And I was like, what is it? And he was like, he's working in a bar with me. I've been to bars and clubs, and I spent more time, I hated bars and clubs. And now my friend Ben, he's like, dude, it's the best job ever. And I was like, no, it's not, it's the scariest thing ever. He's like, no, seriously, the chicks are hot. We get drunk on shift, it's the best job ever. You will absolutely love it. We ended up fighting. I hated him. I was like, hell no. But on that Thursday, I was in my 80s uniform and I was stood behind the bar. I was dripping with sweat. Again, my hair was about to burst out of my chest. I was there. Ben, while I'm dripping with sweat, thinking, oh my God, what am I doing here? Ben's playing Mr. Cole, chatting up all the birds, and I'm like, I hate you. Absolutely hate you. I hated him. My first few shifts at the bar, I left early. I hated it. And every time I turned up, I was looking at my getaway. And then one day, I met a guy. A guy came into the bar, and he was a mountain of a man, head to toe in tattoos, muscles coming out of muscles that I didn't know existed. And he was huge, and he walked into the bar, and he made a beeline straight to where I was. He leant over the bar, he stopped, and he just stared at me. Everywhere I went, his eyes followed me. And I quickly looked at him and quickly looked away. And I thought, he's about to ruin my night. He's about to make my night a nightmare. And I'm praying that somebody gets to him before I do. And I'm working from right to left, and I'm getting hotter and I'm getting nervous. Nobody serves him and it's down to me. So I'm like, all right, mate, what do you want to drink? And he was like, hold up, what happened to your face? I hated talking about my face. I was like, what do you want to drink? And he's like, no, mate. Were you involved in an accident? Did your mum drop you when you were little? What happened to your face? I was like, I was born like this. And he's like, all right, okay, but what's happened to your ears? What's that in your head? Pointing to my hearing aid. I said, you know what? It's a hearing aid, I can't hear without it. And he's like, hold up, but if I shouted really loud, would you be able to hear me? You know, if you took it out, what can you hear? I was like, oh, what do you want to drink? And he was just so curious about my hearing aid, and I'm like, it's not cool to talk about my face. I was like, I can't hear anything without it. And he's like, oh dude, you're so lucky. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, I've got a wife at home, and all she does is shouts at me 24/7. We're going to be divorced in the next few weeks because she's that loud. I would do anything for a moment of peace. I used to take my hearing aid out all the time when my mum was nagging at me. Do the homework, do the tidying up, always taking my hearing aid out. And then this guy, he asked me what my name was. He shook my hand. He bought me a drink, and off he went. That's it. But I promise you, from that single moment, my life changed just like that. I thought he was going to be horrible, I thought he was going to be mean, I thought it was bad to talk about my face. But he was just curious. He just wanted to know. And my confidence just grew from that moment. And that guy will probably never remember that moment. But it's 13 years later and I'm still talking about it. That's how powerful that single moment, that stranger had on me. Since that moment, I lasted at the bar. I started working in the bar, I started dating, I started exploring other jobs. But the biggest thing for me, eyes up, I started to smile. I started to fall in love with myself. And the more I did that, the more doors started opening, and the more relationships I had. Love was finding me everywhere I go because I loved myself. And that was huge for me. That was life-changing. That stranger created that empowerment. And that empowerment is inside every single one of us right now. And you can use that power for the rest of your life every single day. And I've gone good. That is saving lives. Yep. In this world, that is saving lives. That is huge. The frustrating thing is that it took me 20 years to realise that. I spent 20 years reading these comments, letting bullies bring me down, letting them control my life. But not anymore.
There you go.
I once thought my face would prevent me from finding love and from finding work. Truth is, it's not about my face. It's about attitude. Attitudes like that, the bullies, the hate, it's them that are going to be left behind. It's them that are going to be unable to find love, be able to find work. I am empowered. I am proud to be me, and I love my face, and I love who I am.
There you go.
Then it's about PJ. PJ is 4 months old and he's come into this world. He has the power, he could be anything that he wanted. But if we love ourselves and we spread that love, PJ, little Michael here, all these kids are going to go on to do amazing things. And it starts from being by loving yourself. I'm going to wrap things up with the last piece, my start, my birth parents. I used to hate my birth parents, but truth is I have no idea what happened on that day. All I know is that these two people brought me into this amazing, incredible world.